Hey guys, it is Friday. A lot going on today, at least in the world. First off, I am testing out a new vlogging camera, and so I'm kind of curious to see how this works. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But right now, there's some crazy stuff going on. The U.S. has attacked Syria. Sent 50 some odd cruise missiles to hit Syrian air bases. And that is in response to a chemical attack that the government allegedly, and personally I think it's probably true, on their own citizens. So for those of you that have been under a rock, there's a civil war going on in Syria between the government and rebel forces. And the government is backed by Russia, and the rebel forces are backed by the US and most of the Western world. And so, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I don't think that we're headed for a shooting war with Russia, but who knows? That, and I'm a little concerned. I know that President Trump, he ordered it, and personally I think it was the right thing to do. I think that using chemical weapons is an unconscionable act, especially against your own civilians. My concern is President Trump's motives and what he's going to do from here, because the man is not a diplomat, and I'm concerned that he's going to take the easy way out of situations and just, you know, fire rockets at people or something. I don't know. So that's what's going on in the world today. I am on my way into work here. I've actually got an earlier shift. Started yesterday, and then today, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll be coming in early because we're doing some training on a new system. So, yeah, welcome to my day. We'll see how this new camera works. So far I like it a fair amount, but I haven't really had time to play with it too much, and we'll see how it does out here in the wild. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. I'm getting close to work here, so I'll check in with you later as I can. Hey guys, it is the weekend. I am home finally, and I just wanted to talk about this camera that I have been shooting with for today. I've just got a new vlog camera. Mostly I've been using this little guy, this little Sony CyberShot, and it has actually done a really good job for me. I carry it small enough, I carry it everywhere. I have a little pouch here with extra batteries, carry it around on my hip. The image has been excellent, as well as the as well as the audio. The audio is very good with it. It is getting a little well used because I've been using it for everything. I've been beating it up. I have not been gentle with this thing. And unfortunately, the LCD display does not flip out, which has been something that I've been looking for a while. Incidentally, I bought this thing for 20 bucks used, and it's been excellent for me. And so, my newest camera here, Panasonic Lumix G5, you can see it there, has the flip out screen on it. It'll do 1080 progressive mode, 60 frames per second. I'm hoping to get some decent slow motion stuff with this. Unfortunately, it does not have a microphone jack, so I'm hoping that the onboard microphones will be good enough. And it doesn't shoot 4K. From everything that I've been able to find, the 4K on these lower end cameras isn't really worth it anyway. So I went with this one that I'm using now, with this Lumix. I decided I'd rather have the 1080 with the 60 frames per second. I know that the G5 is not the latest greatest, but on the other hand, it cost me $250 used, and I wanted something that wasn't so expensive that I would be afraid to use it. I want one that I can toss in my bag, carry around wherever I have to, and if something happens to it, I'm not out too much. You know, a lot of people say that the equipment doesn't matter. And my personal opinion of that, I have been a photographer for a long time, and I have not had a lot of money for a long time, and so I've had to make do with what I can afford and what I can get. And yeah, it is possible to get good video, good still images out of less than stellar equipment. I've had to do it myself. However, there comes a point where your equipment is holding you back. There are features in some of the nicer equipment that you can't get in some of the lower end equipment. And when it gets to the point where my equipment is keeping me from getting the images that I am trying to get, then it's time to start researching and see what I can find and see what will fill that niche. I couldn't get a lot of the wildlife photography that I get without a zoom lens. It just wouldn't be possible with some of the lower end cameras. However, this little guy has a pretty decent zoom in it, and I've gotten some pretty decent photos with it. Unfortunately, I don't get near as many successful images with it because of the limitations as far as shutter speed and a high burst speed. I can't take a lot of photos altogether, but I have gotten decent photos with it. But I don't get the same quality of photos and the same success rate that I do with my EM1 with this lens on it. Does equipment matter? Yes and no. You can get perfectly acceptable images, perfectly acceptable video with some fairly low-end stuff with even your cell phone. Can you always get the images that you want to get? No. Sometimes you have to splurge for the equipment with the capabilities to capture what you're looking for. And that is my theory, my opinion on equipment. I do just fine with what I've got until it starts to hold me back, until I can't get the images that I'm trying to get. And then it's time to start looking around and find something that will. And yeah, and so that's about it. So I'm going to cut it off here. I've got some editing to get done, and I'll catch you later.